Hi there, I'm Daz. So this is going to be a walkthrough of one of the major objectives of the quest, the Cause. So you'll see I need to search Rielle for clues about the secret chamber. Now the Cause is included in the Anniversary Edition. I'll just go to my content list. Hopefully I can find it quite quickly. So there we are. This should start at level 46 with a visit by our favourite courier. I'll leave that on screen for a few more seconds, give people a chance to hit pause. And I'm actually starting this video quite a way away. I'm at the Rift Imperial Camp. I'm going to be heading up towards Varlais Cavern, which is close to Welkynd Point. I'm starting here because I am aware that some people have a little bit of trouble finding this location the first time. So I'm just heading east out of the camp. And we need to find this pathway up into the hills. For people that have the Vampire Knights mod installed, you can expect to find a Mortuary Guardian around about now. I do have that mod installed, and as you can see, I dealt with him accordingly. So I made a practice run and I've cleared out the enemies on the way up to Varlais Cavern, which becomes Rielle once we get inside there. Now once we get to Rielle, I'm not going to be doing any superfluous treasure hunting. I'm going to be as clinical as possible and just head straight to the objectives. There are already a number of walkthrough guides with people going off in all directions trying to grab every single piece of loot. I just want to stick to the task at hand. It is actually quite easy to get lost in there. So yep, there is Welkynd Point. And here we are, to Rielle. So if you arrive at this location before the appointed time, this wall will be blocked off. This only opens up once you've activated the quest, the Cause, and cleared the previous objectives. Damn, I forgot about the skeever and his chum. So, as you can see, the usual Ayleid cask and urns lying around. By all means, check those out if you're a treasure hunter. So I'm going to go to the map now. You'll see that we have a gate here. It's best to ignore that. We'll actually be exiting through this gate later on, if all goes well. I'll return to the map as often as possible so you can see exactly where I'm headed. I have the first objective there, search Rielle for clues about the secret chamber. And if we look down, we can see a corpse just down there. And there's going to be some enemies to deal with. You can just jump straight down there. I'm gonna take the designated stairs because that's going to look a little bit better when I come to returning to the map from time to time. So here we have actually a bunch of Mythic Dawn corpses, but Janus is the one we are interested in. Can read that journal. We don't actually need to keep the journal, but I'm going to grab it anyway because the character I'm playing is a book collector. I'm also going to take the ruined books because later on we will gain the ability at the Atronach Forge to create the Ayleid Lich spell tome, which will require a ruined book. So now we have 4 more objectives. I'm going to take this one first, and to do this we are heading down this staircase part way, and we have grabbed our first elemental shard. I'm not going to continue down there. It's much simpler and less confusing for a walkthrough, I think, to head back to the place where we discovered Janus and then head I'm wrong actually. I should have continued down the previous stairs. I'm very sorry about that. I've got a short memory, obviously. So this was the previous body that held the first shard. We continue down. Collect the shard from this white. That's the second one, and now we head back up these stairs. I knew I'd make a mistake at some point. Hopefully there won't be any more. So I'm heading straight through here. It's best to avoid the temptation of grabbing any loot. You can get caught in some of those traps if you're not careful. So things are now looking like this. Plenty of loot up here if you want to go off and explore. Okay, so that's all the objectives in this area completed. So we're now heading into Rielle Crypt. Damn, he's followed me from the previous area. Okay, so this is our final elemental shard. This guy would have been in this sarcophagus. It's just that I got delayed a little bit by the other white following me in. So now I'm going to be heading straight through there. There's a little bit of loot and a couple of enemies off in that direction. I'm going to forego that. I'm going to stick to the task at hand and just carry on straight through these doors. We need to step on these pressure plates in order to open the gates. Now be very careful here. There is a trap and it is quite a quick one if I just step on this. As you can see, it's a bit of a problem. and it doesn't capture them. It's just dead. It's just deadly, I think, to people with a heartbeat. So I'll jump over that. And jump over that once more. And now we're just about to deal with a puzzle. And there's going to be another white in here. Right, so no more enemies for a while. I can light things up a little bit, finally. We just need to place the elemental shards in the correct slots. And we are given a clue by these symbols. That is a mountain range. So, earth slots into there. We have a sunburst. So, light. This one is crashing waves. So, water. And finally, I don't know what that symbol represents, but it is obvious that that is the only element that we have left. So we're going to be fighting an Ayleid Lich in this next area. We need to stand on the pressure plate again. So prepare yourself, the fight will not start until you collect the great Welkynd stone. Just to keep up to date with the objectives. I never went back to the quest log. Apologies for that. But these are the stages, and this is the one we are on now. Rielle key. And I'm going to take this nice staff. Right, I'm going to deal with these whites. There's a couple of archers and they cause quite a bit of damage actually if you're not careful. They're actually harder to kill than the Lich, which doesn't make a lot of sense. There's another archer at this side. Fly! Okay, so we can now make our escape. And in this chamber, where we had the little elemental shards puzzle, before we leave, in order to access the shortcut, we need to activate this switch. I'm exactly there on the map. May as well grab this since it's not out of the way. We need to hop over this trap again. And we can head now up in this direction. And there's going to be some fighting going on as we make our escape. There will be Mythic Dawn and Vigilance of Stendarr fighting each other and the surviving whites. there you can see some action down there. I'm afraid you're on your own. I've got other things to take care of. Okay, this is that gate that I pointed out right at the beginning of this dungeon. And we explored from this point. I'm heading back outside.
What was that? Huh? Yeah.
Deal with the mythic Dawner.
Oh well. Must have run off.
And I'm forgetting to check the objectives again, so you'll see the next objective after defeating Norion the Undying is to find clues to the Oblivion Gate's location, which is done by reading this Vigilance journal. I'll take that. So the next location in this quest line is going to be a cave close to Champion's Rest. So I'll be fast travelling to Fort Greenwall by the looks of things. But that's going to be for another video. I think we can leave this one here. I hope this has been useful. And thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.